Hey everybody. So I've been getting a ton of questions, people sending me messages on Instagram and on YouTube about how to make a Raspberry Pi 3 or where can you order one. I've wanted to get one for a while. I've had fun modding the NES Classic and the Super NES Classic, but I want something that holds more games. Mostly I want it for arcade games, main games. I've looked online for a while and I finally found someone that sells them at a reasonable price. The links will be down below. I believe he offers a few different versions. He offers one in this NES case. This one's awesome. And then a regular Pi 3 case, and I believe one more product, but the link will be down below. Anyway, I don't have the time to make one of these. I'm gonna get a lot of people saying, well, just make one, just make one. I don't have the time. I'm married with 3 kids. I got a lot of activities going on. I just wanted someone to make it for me. And the quality of this build is really, really good. I know I'll get a lot of comments saying, just do it yourself, do it yourself. And again, I don't have the time, but the price, I believe on this is $160, $170. And by the time you buy all the parts, because you have to get a Raspberry Pi 3 kit with the SD card, with the power cord, and with this case, you're already gonna be running at about $120 after taxes and shipping. So just for the extra $30, $40, I just wanted one built with all the games on it. I'm gonna still add some more games. But first off, this case is awesome. It's an SP case. I believe these go for about $25. It's got the power button and it feels just like the actual NES console. It's got the reset button. It's got the 2 USB ports for controllers, or I use one for a keyboard. If you open up the top, you've got 2 more USB ports. And then you've got a hardline connection for your internet, which I don't need because you can hook this up Wi-Fi. You've got your HDMI, you've got your power, and then you've got your SD card. This thing is really small and it's really awesome. Again, this runs for, I believe, $160, $170, and it's really the best deal that I've seen out there. The quality of this build is really good. Let me show you guys what's inside it. So here is the Retropie. I'm running this off a 32-inch television. I have the comic book theme on right now. And on here I have Super NES games. Actually, let's go this way. I have PlayStation games, and you can see there's artwork for some of the games, like Tony Hawk, PC Engine, which is the TurboGrafx, Neo Geo Pocket Color, regular Nintendo NES, Neo Geo, Nintendo 64, Mega Drive, MAME, which are arcade games. I'll go back to that one in a second. Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, original Game Boy, Game Gear. I forget what that one is. I don't know if that's just arcade games multiplayer. I'm not sure. ColecoVision, Lynx, Atari 7800. You can go in and play all the games you played last played games. You can actually add games to a favorite menu, which is awesome. I love that. And then you can do all games, which are all games for every system. If I go into MAME right here, most games, let me raise it so you can hear me. Most games have all the artwork. It'll even tell you what year it was made. If it's 2-player or not, it'll have either a screenshot of what it looks like or a video, as this one is. 1942, 2-on-2 Open Ice Challenge. And with the, so I got this specifically for arcade. And as you can see, I'm gonna scroll down how many arcade games there are. There's, I believe, about 4,500 arcade games. So I'm in C, CH, CO. I don't know if you can see that in the middle of the screen. It kind of tells me where I'm at. There's Donkey Kong. It's got the video. There are tons and tons of arcade games on this. And I'm playing this, I'll show in a second what I'm playing this on. I'm playing this on my little arcade system. Actually, it's not little, it's a big arcade system. So pretty much any arcade game you've ever wanted. Let's see if I can find one of my favorites. Oh, there's Double Dragon. A lot of fighting games. I can go back out, I can jump into, let's go to Nintendo. Where's Nintendo? There's Nintendo. And it has, I believe this one has 700 something games. And again, you can just start scrolling down, look at all the games that it has. The system has 11,000 total on the one that I have. And you can add much, much more. It's really easy to add games. A little more difficult than the NES Classic or the Super NES Classic. But again, with this, these games play a lot better. You can't play arcade games. You can't really play PlayStation or Nintendo 64 on the NES Classic or the Super NES Classic. You kind of can, but it doesn't have a lot of memory either. This has a ton of memory, just depending on what type of SD card you put in. And that's pretty much it. I play this all the time. I haven't gotten into the Game Boy stuff. I really just got this for the MAME arcade games, which is, again, right, I passed it. Where'd you go, MAME? You're in blue. Right there. The Simpsons are on here. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then old school games like Hubert, Donkey Kong, all the Super Mario Brothers are on here. Oh yeah, there's 4,506 games available for the arcade. The Mega Drive has 1,041 games. There's also the Sega Master System games in there too. There's just a handful of Nintendo games. I have not played this yet, the Nintendo 64, because I haven't got my controller out. I have this hooked up to my arcade stick, and I'll show you in just a second. So this is my arcade system. I actually got this a long time ago, or a couple years ago. I had this hooked up to an actual PC itself, running Hyperspin, but Retropie is just so much better. I have this in my garage because I have no room in my house. But this is the arcade stick that came with it. I actually get a lot of people wondering what kind of arcade stick it's. I got it from Extension, the Arcade Emulator Edition. This thing is awesome. This thing is probably the best arcade stick you can get out there. The buttons are, it feels like you're playing an actual arcade. They've got like a little spring in them too. You've also got the coin drive, which you need it for arcade games. I forget what the mouse left is for. The menu, select, start, and you can program all those buttons to do whatever you want. It also has a trackball, which is awesome. There's a bowling game and Golden Tee that I play with it. So that is it. That's the Raspberry Pi case. Looks like an NES console with the Raspberry Pi 3 in it, running 11,000 games. But I thought it was a really good deal. And the links are down below. Check out his website. He ships super fast. So if you guys liked the video, please give me a like. Leave your comments down below. I'll be happy to answer them. And I'll see you guys around.